I feel like with Cancer moons especially, it's really, really important to tap into and figure out what your Cancer moon's Mars placement is. I want you to know how they react when they are fighting, because then it'll show you, you know, how their Cancer moon really deals with emotions, because it can tell you, like, if you're with a fire, you know what I mean, fire Mars Cancer moon, they're gonna be aggressive with those emotions. You know what I mean? If you're with, let's say, Earth Mars but with a Cancer moon, maybe they take their time expressing their emotions to you, so they don't allow themselves to get that angry because they're not reactionary. Good, you guys, it's your girl Sarah.
And Maya.
And we're charmed and dangerous.
You know, because we be charming.
And we be dangerous.
And we be charming. And we be dangerous. And we be charming. And we be dangerous.
So we're back with the moon sign series. Cancer, it is your turn. We're talking all about Cancer moons. So grab your popcorn, grab your tissues, grab all the shit you need, because we're gonna get into it. So the moon obviously rolls over Cancer. So as a Cancer moon, I would say yes, you are God's favorite when it comes to moon sign placements.
Yeah.
Because you truly have lucked out. You know, the moon's energy gets to fully express itself in its full glory when it is in Cancer. And Cancer moons to me truly are the mother, you know? Not only because your moon placement heavily connects to the maternal figure in your life, but because these people know how to take great care of you and your emotions. They're just so soft and tender and honestly kind.
Yes.
Because they have that space in their heart to do so, because they are ruled by the moon.
I couldn't agree more. I feel like Cancer moons are really natural nurturers and are extremely compassionate, like, individuals. Like, they have so much love to give. They have so much, like, they're the type of person who's like, come over for food, come over, I can give you this, I can give you this, because they just have so much love and opportunities, I feel like, too, to share with people. And for them, like, their family and home are obviously of the utmost importance to them, and they have like a very strong attachment to their family, their roots, or like maybe their heritage also in some type of way. And to me, because of this love for their family, they're always striving to create like a harmonious and like safe home for themselves, and also for anyone who they're rocking with too.
Yeah, I feel like they do take that mother role very seriously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because it's so easy for them to pick up on what's going on around them, like, that to me gives very mother energy too. Mothers are so good at, you lost something, you go to a mother. You feel unsafe around someone, you go to your mother.
Right.
Like, all this energy is very mother-like, but also, you know, with great power comes great responsibility. Their ability to gauge your emotions can also make it quite easy for them to manipulate you. I think Cancers are some of the, moons especially, are some of the best manipulators in the zodiac. Even if you guys don't think you're doing it, you really are, because your feelings, the undertones of your feelings are very influential to the people around you. But usually I would say that Cancer moons are not the types to lead with their anger, because it honestly affects them in such a way that makes them so sad. After they lash out on you, a Cancer moon specifically, they feel really upset because they see that they've hurt you. Yes. You know what I mean? So it's like they almost are really good at manipulating you, but also they're good at invalidating and manipulating themselves. Like, well, you reacted that way because you were really upset, but now because this person cries to you as a Cancer moon, all your walls are down again, and now you feel like you need to be the mother and take care of them. Right. So it's a dangerous, slippery slope.
Yeah, I mean, it is very confusing for them, I can imagine, right? Because like, their emotions are always tied with the moon, so they're ebbing and flowing all the time. Yeah. Right? And I feel like it seems contradicting, but their emotional well-being is actually number one to them. And because I think there's always this like struggle between this, you know, or like trying to find their balance in all of that and in their emotions and all of the energies that they're feeling, because you're totally right, they're very intuitive people, right? Like you take on energies very easily, And so I think, you know, if you're a friend of a Cancer moon, you're a lover of a Cancer moon, or, you know, you're a family member, like, you have to be understanding that this sign is going to be overwhelmed by their emotions sometimes. They're going to be moody, and you just need to be there for them, because that's what they need in order to feel safe in a relationship. You know what I mean?
No, totally. Totally. And I feel like with Cancer moons especially, it's really, really important to tap into and figure out what your Cancer moon's Mars placement is. I want you to know how they react when they are fighting, because then it'll show you, you know, how their Cancer moon really deals with emotions, because it can tell you, like, if you're with a fire, you know what I mean, fire Mars Cancer moon, they're gonna be aggressive with those emotions. You know what I mean? If you're with, let's say, Earth Mars, but with a Cancer moon, maybe they take their time expressing their emotions to you, so they don't allow themselves to get that angry, because they're not reactionary. So it just honestly varies, as it always does with every placement.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Like we talked about, Cancers are very intuitive people. They typically can read your emotions like a book. You know how we all collectively started talking about how much it's cringe when people are like, I'm an empath. Like, it's because I'm an empath. Well, Cancers really are an empath. So, like, so Cancer moons especially, they're very much affected by, like I said, what's going on around them. So it's hard for them not to react to, again, it's kind of like Gemini moon, to the stimuli around them. The stimuli not so much being about thoughts and ideas like Gemini, but more so about feelings. They're feeling everybody in the room. You know, and while that makes them the perfect person to, like, vent to, you can also be trauma dumping on them a lot, and they need to set a better boundaries around it, and you need to be nicer to your Cancer moon people, because just because they can understand all your emotions doesn't mean they should take it in.
No, it goes back to, I feel like, our first point, you know, like we're saying, lunar Cancer does such a good job of taking care of others. And, like, sometimes I think that they're putting their own emotions on the back burner because they are so aware of how everyone else is feeling. Like, they're catering to everyone else to try and, like, keep the peace. Kind of similar to a Libra, actually, now that I'm saying it out loud. But, like, that's very unhealthy for them, you know? And Cancer moons, like, if you struggle with this, you know, you have to learn how to set healthier and better boundaries with people and say, like, yes, okay, that maybe you are feeling an emotion, but I can't take this in and soak this in with you right now. You know, like, that's really important for, I feel, all water signs to learn, but especially this lunar moon.
I mean, they're known to be some of the most emotional people in the zodiac, Cancer placements in general, Cancer moon even more. And again, your moon sign expresses the language of your heart. And Cancer moons, you know, wear their heart on their sleeves. They really don't think it's a big deal to be crying every 2 seconds, or, you know what I mean? Like, just expressing what they deeply feel all the time. They're actually very proud of it. And they honestly expect the world to see that in them, see that side of them, and treat them with the same softness that they give to people. But sadly, you know, that's not the energy that is always returned to you, even if you lead with that Cancer moon. So it's really up to yourself to teach yourself those emotional boundaries. Not everyone feels as comfortable with their emotions as you do. So you may be someone who triggers people a lot. Because of how open you are with your emotions. Because you expect them to be that open with their emotions.
Totally. You're so right. And I feel like in those instances, like, you really have to trust your gut, which you're so good at, trust your intuition, and say, like, oh, like, okay, I shouldn't take this personally. You know what I mean? Like, I can clearly see what's going on with them, because I feel like that's sometimes where Cancer moons may struggle. It's like, I take this so personally because maybe I'm sharing with you and you're not reacting in the way that I want to, or maybe you're reacting in a way that I really don't like and I can't get you to change it, you know? And that's also, like, an internal struggle, I feel.
Agreed.
You don't have that power, you know, even though you just don't.
It's like, there's certain things in life where you're so good at it, and if you want to share it without expecting anything back, do it. But if you're at a place maybe where you feel drained, the cup is, you know, half empty, and you feel like, oh my god, the only way I'm going to give is if I receive back, then don't give. Don't give.
Yeah.
Because if you go into shit having these expectations, it isn't going to be 100% guaranteed that you're going to get what you're expecting.
Yeah.
So you're kind of setting yourself up for failure.
Yes.
So go into situations only if you feel like you want to give it without expecting anything back.
100%.
Being there for people emotionally without feeling like you have to get that back. I'm not saying all the time, because if that's a pattern, that's a problem in that relationship. If you're always the one giving, you know, emotional depth and empathetic energy, you're the only one doing it, that's not okay.
Right.
But if it's a time period where you just feel like, I feel kind of empty, and I swear to God, if you don't create a safe space for me after I created a safe space for you, I'm gonna go off on you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It goes back to one of your first points of that manipulative nature, you know what I mean? It's like, Cancer Moon, you clearly have an ulterior motive when you could just be actually more openly expressing that.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
Rather than like trying to puppeteer people to act a certain way when,
Agreed.
like we just said, that it's probably not gonna happen that way.
Yeah, it's not.
People are unpredictable, honey.
They are. They really are. Yeah, we kind of touched on this, but again, this moon placement is quite protective of their space and their loved ones. Since they spend a lot of time in their home and around their family and friends, like I said, they pick up on the energy shifts from their safe space and their safe people. Because, you know, to them it's one of the same.
Yeah.
If they notice a shift in their environment, they will want to understand where this shift came from. Like, I should have predicted this. Like, why is something off right now? And they want to make sure that they want to prevent it from ever happening again. Because again, if something is unknown, it's not safe. Your comfort and your safety will never be compromised when you are with a Cancer moon.
Yeah.
And that is something that I love about them. But again, if I'm on the other side and I'm the one making shit unsafe, or I'm the one that's the outlier, I don't want to go up against the Cancer moon.
No.
Because their warrior spirit is out and ready to play.
Yes.
But again, I'm not that type of person. You know what I mean? I'm not one to like go into shit and be like, I'm gonna fuck your shit up. You know what I mean? Like, I consider myself a stable person, so this side of them doesn't scare me. Because I also, as a Scorpio, like to feel safe. But if you are someone who's chaotic and you enjoy being chaotic and seeing people react, you will get a reaction from a Cancer.
Yes.
A Cancer moon especially. And it's not going to be their sweet and soft side.
No.
That makes people feel comfortable. You're going to see another side of them.
No, and you're gonna regret that you pushed them
Yep.
to their edge. You're gonna wish you had that sweet, sensitive
Yeah.
Cancerian energy back. Okay, also, obviously we've said a little bit, again, Cancers are very sensitive, very affected by, you know, the energies that are around them, right? And I kind of feel like this is maybe why they have a tendency to hold on to things, because they find it challenging to like let go of an experience, whether it was like positive or negative.
Oh, they're so nostalgic.
Yes, they're incredibly nostalgic, and I feel like actually that can sometimes be potentially one of their most toxic traits for them, because like when a Cancer moon, a Cancer moon's attachment to their past wounds can lead to like serious resentment and self-pity.
Yeah.
I feel like. And as we grow older, it's our responsibility to like grow and change, right? And not be blaming other people for what has happened in our lives. Like, yes, bad shit has happened. Those people should not have done it to us, but how are we going to grow past that, right? So Cancer moons, like that self-care, expressing yourself like openly with your feelings and setting healthy boundaries is really essential for, I feel like, their healing journey. You know, otherwise they're gonna be stuck not taking risks.
Yeah.
And that's not good for this water sign. You know, like they're cardinal. They need to be moving.
Yeah.
You know?
You do.
And yeah, I just feel like if you guys ever feel like you're in a funk, like you probably need to be surrounding yourself with better people and like re-engaging in your creative pursuits, or, you know, some basic self-care time.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy because they're known to be obviously moody. Like everyone's like, Cancers are so moody. They're so moody. And you know, the moon changes signs every 2.5 days. That means Cancer moons are literally, their moods are changing that often.
Yeah.
Their emotional world is on a constant moving roller coaster. You don't know what mood you'll catch them in. Like, that's also why it's important for them to move on, because it's very natural for them to be moving on.
Yeah.
So when you do get stuck on a feeling for a long, long time, Cancer, there's a big problem here. Because usually, even if you're feeling like crazy, you're about to go like this, you're about to come down.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
the moon is always changing.
Yes.
And you're ruled by the moon.
And I feel like, again, even if it's like seeming positively, like, oh, Cancer's so in love, like y'all can also get very clingy and needy and too dependent on that relationship. You know what I mean? If you don't keep moving and remembering, hey, I have these other things going on that fulfill me as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just think that your nostalgic ways, Cancer Moon, can be very toxic for you potentially if you stick in it for too long. So just remember, you're a cardinal and you're supposed to be moving forward. You're a leader, okay? So take that charge. All right, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode on Cancer Moons. We hope you enjoyed. Comment down below on your thoughts. Okay?
We love y'all so
so
much.
much. We're looking at our socials somewhere around here. We'll see you later.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.